Ms. Williams, is anyone besides Mr. Bach participating via his telephone today? Okay. Next item is the approval of the minutes. Any questions or comments on the September 28th meeting minutes? Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped one. Public comments on agenda items other than development or rezonings. Would anyone care to address the board today regarding today's agenda or any items on it? Okay, hearing none. Next is approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the September 28th minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Bach?
Vote yes.
Mr. Olet?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Next is the approval of the bills. Any questions or comments on today's payment batch register, gentlemen? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Bach?
Vote yes.
Mr. Olet?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is Resolution 2021 R54, a resolution pursuant to Resolution 2015 R20 and the Municipal Records Manual to approve proposed disposition of certain township records. This is a routine item authorizing our departments to dispose of public records once they've reached their retention dates. Today's request is from the police department requesting permission to delete dash cam videos that reach their retention date between the dates of October 13th and October 26th. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Nope.
Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2021 R54?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Buck?
Vote yes.
Mr. Olet?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is Resolution 2021 R55, a resolution to amend the Mill Creek Township procedures for probable or confirmed COVID-19 cases. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, thank you. So Resolution 2021 R5 is amending our existing policy for procedures for probable or confirmed COVID-19 cases. Specifically, we are looking to add the following. On page 3, section 2, we're adding the statement that fully vaccinated employees who have come into close contact and who have no symptoms shall wear a mask in public indoor settings for 14 days or until they receive a negative test result from a test, RT-PCR, or an antigen test conducted 3 to 5 days after exposure. In addition, to claim that mask exemption, employees must show proof of a negative test result. And an employee who does not wish to mask when required to do so under this policy may elect to quarantine and either use available paid time off or quarantine without pay. The first two statements are consistent with the CDC current policies with respect to fully vaccinated employees, and the last one is an internal policy with respect to how the township will handle those issues. So it's this was requested by the HR department, and it's recommended that the policy be amended as stated.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Any questions or comments from the board? All right.
No.
Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2021 R55?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Bach?
Vote yes.
Mr. Olet?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is exclusion from land development request, LaFaro Insurance Agency, Bob LaFaro Developer. Mr. Waldinger.
Thank you. Good morning. Sorry. Thank you. Good morning. This actually is just a notification. This meets the requirements or the conditions for a exclusion to be granted by the Planning and Development Department. This is just a notification to the board. The developer, Bob LaFaro, is looking to add a 100 square foot addition, a 10 by 10 addition to 4627 Peach Street, the LaFaro Insurance Agency. It has been reviewed by the township engineer. There is a form in front of you signed off by Emma George for Ann Sokol that it meets the requirements for a exclusion from land development. They are going to do stormwater control for the new addition, and so that is what is going on with that.
Thank you, Mr. Waldinger. Next item is the solicitor agreement renewal. Mr. Zachewski or Mr. Shaw?
Sure. The current agreement with the solicitor expires at the end of this year, and the request is to renew that agreement for a period of 4 years. The terms of the agreements effectively replicate the existing agreements. We have fees broken into a basic services flat fee, and then there are special fees depending upon the nature of the work. The formula used to affect rate increases over the period is the same as we've been using for the last 4 years. It's adjusted by the CPI annually, so I would ask that the board renew our agreement.
Mr. Zachewski, any comments or questions about the agreement?
No, we've seemed to be doing okay with that, and although we're probably going to get hit with a pretty good increase for next year because CPI will be up year over year.
But I think we froze our rates last year, so it'll even out.
Any questions or comments from the board on the solicitor agreement renewal?
None here.
You good, Jim? Mr. Bach, can you hear us?
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you now.
All right, any questions or comments on the solicitor agreement renewal?
No, it looks like it's a pretty standard from last year, correct?
Yes.
Or the last renewal. Yep. Okay. No, I'm good.
All right, is there a motion to approve the solicitor agreement renewal?
I'll make that motion, John.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Bach?
I vote yes.
Mr. Olet?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is Treasurer Communications. Anything for today, Mr. Zachewski?
Nothing for today.
All right. Next, we have some hiring requests. The first is from the Police Department. It's a request to, or do you want to cover it, Chief, or I can? It's a request to hire 3 officers, Jose Delgado Jr., Jacob Kindle, and Grady Vrena at the union contract rate of pay of $28.08. This would be conditional on them meeting the requirements of the offer letters. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Chief? Any questions or comments on the hiring request?
No, sir.
No.
Is there a motion to approve the hiring of the 3 new officers?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Bach?
Vote yes.
Mr. Olet?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is a crossing guard request. Is this, I know last time we pulled something, Chief. Is this, we good to go with the crossing guard this time?
I believe so, yes, sir.
All right, this is a request to hire Kim Wilkinson as a crossing guard, starting tomorrow, October 13th, at the rate of $25 per hour, which is essentially $25 a day, as a part-time crossing guard. Any questions or comments from the board on the crossing guard?
No, sir.
All right, is there a motion to?
Nope.
Is there a motion to approve hiring Kim Wilkinson as the crossing guard for Chestnut Hill?
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second here.
All right, Mr. Buck?
Vote yes.
Mr. Olet?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is request to begin the hiring process to fill 2 part-time dispatch positions. Any questions or comments from the board? All right, is there a motion to authorize hiring, starting the hiring process for 2 part-time dispatchers?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Did you call for a second, John?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll second.
All right, Mr. Buck?
I vote yes.
Mr. Olet?
And I'll vote yes also.
And I vote no. All right, next item, Parks and Rec. Our director is requesting us to hire Krista Haggerty for the adult dance program. This will be to replace, to fill a vacancy. The recommendation is to hire Christina Haggerty at the rate of $9.50 an hour. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the hire?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Bach?
Vote yes.
Mr. Olet?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is executive sessions. Just letting the public know the board did have executive sessions on October 1st and October 8th to discuss various legal and personnel matters with our executive team. Next is Solicitor Communications. Anything further today, Mr. Shaw?
Yes, I actually have to report that we received a letter from Ron Wilga, who is one of the township auditors, resigning from his post due to the fact that he's moving south. That letter was received on October 1st. Under the second-class township code, the Board of Supervisors has 45 days to accept that resignation.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Anything further?
Nothing further.
We also have the ICADO convention is on our list today. ICADO's 2021 annual convention is coming up, I guess, this week, October 15th. There's a request for Mark Suchesky and Dan Olet to attend at $25 apiece, so a total request of $50 to attend the ICADO convention. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to withdraw from that for this year.
Okay. You still going, Mark? You don't have to go.
No, I know I don't have to go. I'm going to pass then, too. It doesn't make any sense to not have a supervisor there.
Okay, well then, we don't need to vote on that. All right. Anything further? Good to you?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
could I make a public announcement real quick?
I don't know.
Depends what it is.
Exactly.
The National Drug Take Back Day is coming up on Saturday, October 23rd. We will be sponsoring it here at the municipal building from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're also partnering with Wegmans on Peach Street for the same time period. So again, that's this Saturday, October 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Thank you, Chief. All right, well, the next item is citizens to be heard. Anyone care to address the board today? Good morning.
All right,
Doing well.
two questions.
If you could please state your name and address for the record and sign in.
Jerry Cervidio, 1720 West Square Road, Erie, PA, 16509. Hey, two questions. One, asphalt plant. What's going on? I don't see anything in the paper. Are you selling it? If you do, does it go in the paper? And which, I know it's probably what would be, you're just taking bids, correct? So I can't ask you what price you would expect to get out of it, do you?
Well, as far as the process goes, leave it to Mr. Shaw. I believe we did authorize that to go out to bid at some
Yeah,
point.
there should be something in the paper here within the next couple of weeks, advertising the bid process, and obviously, we don't know what number we're going to expect to receive, so, but it will be a bidding process.
Just wonder, okay, and the Perkins Road. Mr. Olet, is anybody ever gonna look down Beaver Run? Or are you just gonna, it's not a concern for the township, apparently?
No, I wouldn't say it's not a concern. Obviously, we'll direct Public Works to take a look at that and.
I've spoken, many times I've spoken to the guy from Erie, who's that, Matt? The guy that came from Erie, the engineering?
Matt Puz from the city.
I spoke to him about a year ago on this. I spoke to Annie, and I spoke to you a month ago, or to the board. Now, I'm not trying to be a pain, but I ain't gonna get in there and start clearing stuff out and then get my, how could I say this?
Well, no, we don't expect you to place yourself in any danger and.
Not danger, I
obviously-
don't wanna get in trouble.
Well, wait, yeah, we don't want you down over the embankment either.
And I mean, it's eroding. I told you, I have pictures on my phone. You're gonna end up with the same problem, and the longer you let it go, the worse the problem's gonna be. And that's your property, because there used to be a road that went straight across there. There was a bridge there before. And that one guy that comes here, he's pretty knowledgeable, but I just think it's something you gotta look at. I don't know, I just texted Annie or emailed Annie today. But, you know, I'm sure somebody here could provide you with my number. Or I'm in the phone book under a regular number. But I would appreciate somebody taking a look at it. I think it ought to be you. I don't think it should be somebody from the thing. Hey, you're the supervisor of that side of town.
Right.
Come on over, I'll meet with you. Be interesting.
Okay, we'll take a look at it.
Please, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Visuvidio. Any other comments or questions today? Anything further, folks? All right, with that, I'll call for somebody to add, Mr. Bach?
No,
All right. Is there-
we're out of here in record time.
Yeah, is there a motion to adjourn at 9:48?
So moved.
Is there a second? All right, we're out of here. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.